What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at this guitar here. This is an Ibanez 8-string Prestige RG. And before we do more of a deep dive on the Ibanez Prestige and maybe why this is still a fantastic choice for the average metal guitar player, we're going to mod this guitar more than it's already been modded. So sit back, relax, and let's get right to it. Alright, so here we have the Ibanez 5328 8-string Prestige all finished up here. Real fast, just to go over what we did. We redid the electronics. The volume is back here, still on that push-pull, and we got rid of the tone knob. We're going to plug this hole later on. Very easy to do. We adjusted the truss rod, got that action super low, and as well as adjusting the action to as low as it can go without it buzzing. A little bit of foam on the nut here, a little bit of that 3-in-1 oil in the back of the locking tuner mechanisms here. Cleaned up the neck, tightened everything that needs to be tightened, and straight up, this thing is sick. And it's just a reminder that these Prestige guitars are just fantastic, whether you get them brand new or used. Obviously, if you buy these guitars used, you're gonna get a bit of a better value, you're gonna save a lot of money, and again, it just seems like the used Prestige is kind of the gold standard for a, no-nonsense, all-in-one, like, great metal guitar. But that is just my 2 cents for now. Let's learn a little bit more about this guitar with some specs and features. We have an ash body on here tied in with some of this white binding that goes all the way around the guitar. Really looks nice. The ash body on this guitar kind of has like a bit of like a sandblasted look, and that's just kind of the grain and the cut of ash that you get. They're all different. It's not a vinyl print or anything like that, so that is a nice touch, especially when you are paying some good money for the Ibanez Prestige line here. This guitar also has the Ibanez proprietary design hardtail fixed bridge. It's a really great bridge to use. It adjusts really well. It's very easy. There's nothing really negative to write home about it. We have 2 Fishman modern pickups here. We have a ceramic in the bridge and Alnico in the neck. This guitar does not come stock with these Fishman pickups. These were added in after, as this guitar comes stock with some other DiMarzio passive pickups, which I'm sure sound great. But sometimes when you're getting a used Prestige, you get some really sweet upgrades like these Fishman pickups here. We redid the wiring. We have 1 volume back here, push-pull to access the 2 voicings of the Fishman pickups. We have a little kill switch down here, and then we have a regular 3-way toggle selector. Moving to the back of the guitar, we have a nice sculpted heel, so you can get up to those higher frets very, very easy on this guitar. We then have the 5-piece traditional maple and Wenge neck on this guitar here. Neck feels really good, just as any other Ibanez Prestige does, and even comparing back to my 2007 RG 2228, which is like the grandfather to this guitar, it feels exactly the same. It feels really good. We have some fretboard binding that goes up and down the neck on this guitar here. 24 jumbo stainless steel frets on a 27-inch scale length with a rosewood fingerboard. We've got these mother of pearl dot inlays. We also have lumen lace side dots on the side of this guitar, which is a really nice touch as well. This guitar also has the Ibanez Prestige fret edge treatment, which essentially means that this guitar should have no sharp fret ends and no tall frets or anything like that. The fretwork on these Ibanez Japanese guitars are absolutely insane. They are better than some of the guitars that I've played that are built in North America, and honestly, for the price that you can get a Prestige at, especially on the used market, it's really hard to beat, and that is essentially what you are paying for. You're paying for a lot of additional quality control and additional attention to detail when you are looking at these Prestige guitars. Graphtec Tusk nut up here, a little bit of foam behind the nut just to avoid any of that sympathetic vibration for when you are recording. We then have the newer Ibanez Prestige 8-string headstock. This is a little bit different than the 2228 that I'm used to. And then we have Goto locking tuners. And one last thing on this guitar is that it is strung up with strings from today's sponsor, the String Source. Today we're using the Amethyst 8-string set here. It's a 9 on the high E all the way down to a low 80 on the F sharp. And the real best part about the String Source is that all their strings are balanced and they feel so fantastic. And what that means is that every string is calculated per set to match the specific tuning and the scale length that you are using. I really haven't gone back because honestly these strings are fantastic. They feel great, they sound great, and honestly they make me so inspired to play because every string feels so good for the tuning that it is in, and it just makes me want to keep writing and playing on these guitars. If you want to try String Source guitar strings, make sure you click the link in the description below and use my discount code MRTNTSS for a bit of a discount upon checkout. So that's going to do it for the specs and features on this Ibanez 5328 Prestige guitar. And at this point, let's just plug it in. Let's hear how this thing sounds. after this guitar has been set up, it is undoubtedly one of the best 8 strings that I have played. If you want something that is a 27-inch 8-string guitar and maybe you want to get it at a good price and you want to make sure that it's coming from a really reputable brand and you don't want to break the bank, I really think the used Prestige guitar is going to be where it's at for you, especially if you are looking for a extended range guitar in this case, as Ibanez was the first company to make a production extended range guitar with the 7-string back in the 90s and then with the 8-string back in around 2007. So you will be in really good hands if you are buying an extended range Ibanez guitar. And the Prestige fret edge treatment is really great as well. There's no sharp or tall frets on the guitar. The neck is super flat on this guitar. It is, you know, a little bit wider because it's an 8-string guitar. It's not like uncomfortable or anything. We also have the 5-piece neck. You have a lot of stability on it. Again, this is just a solid workhorse guitar that you can use on stage, in the studio, and pretty well wherever you would need for it. Like, there's nothing really negative to write home about this guitar. The guitar is balanced really well and the guitar feels really good in terms of weight. So I would honestly want to play this guitar on stage because it doesn't seem like it would be a detriment to, you know, my body in playing an hour-long set. These Fishman Moderns sound fantastic, especially with the ability to change the voicings from like an active to a passive version. It'd be nice if we had another toggle here, or maybe if we kept some switching in here to then access maybe a single coil mode as well, or even wired in a 5-way switch. But then again, this isn't my guitar. But if you are going to be switching those stock Ibanez pickups out to something else, you're going to have a lot of great options whether you are going active or passive. And it honestly seems like these guitars have just been the gold standard for extended range for quite some time, especially at the Prestige level. So honestly, like, believe the hype. In this case, the used Prestige guitars are where it's at, and yeah, you know, I might just try and find another one for myself. And that's going to do it for today's video, checking out and setting up this Ibanez Prestige guitar. Let me know all thoughts and opinions down below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I have tons more videos that go over guitar setups and maintenance routines, as well as other guitar related topics. And if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.